Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, first and foremost, I have to extend my most heartfelt Happy New Year's to each one of you and your families. Glad that we made it through to the other side. Thank the Lord, our God, our Creator, for carrying us over into another year. Another year, more opportunities, more excitement. Unfortunately, maybe some more tragedy, but again, nonetheless, we thank God for life. So, to my Cowboy Nation, I know y'all are probably feeling like I'm feeling. You have this awful, disgusting, nasty taste in your mouth about the 2025 season, you know. Granted, you know, it was under the leadership of first-year head coach Brian Schottenheimer. It looked promising. We had some key pieces in place, and it just didn't come together the way that we thought it would. And so, as I've been sitting here processing the lack of success in 2025, there are 6 areas, 6 focal points I think that the Dallas Cowboys organization needs to zero in on if they're going to have any shot at success in 2026. And that starts with the first point: establishing a real identity. Yeah, establishing a real identity. So I know Shotty came and, you know, he had his cool buzzwords, and you know he had his speech, you know, laid out well, and he paced himself well. He spoke clear, you know, with clarity and conviction and excitement, and all that was cool. But I had said we need a real identity. Like, what is it going to be? Are we going to be a run first physical football team? Are we going to be a spread them out passing team, catch them underneath with a run here and there? Like, what is it going to be? Because I heard physical, I heard run, but I didn't see it often. I saw it sometimes. My great aunt would say we had a sometimey offense. Sometimes we did the things that I heard Shotty say he wanted to do. He wanted to be known for. So going forward in 2026, I need us to establish a real identity. Now, I'm not saying I had a problem with the identity that he said we had. I just need us to actually have it. If we're going to be physical, then damn it, let's be physical. If we're going to be heavy run first, then damn it, let's be heavy run first. If we're going to be aired out, you know, spread them out, burn them up, Dak wind it up, if that's what we're going to be, that's what I want us to be. Excuse me. So again, we need to establish a real identity. Point number 2. I need us to scheme to players' strengths. Now, I know we've seen, you know, plays for players, etc., or if the game plan for this particular week is, oh yeah, we gonna target CD and he get the heavy targets in the first quarter or whatever. Okay, yeah, we've seen that. But when I say scheme to player strengths, I'm talking specifically, as an example, the offensive line. Your offensive line seems to perform better, in my opinion, based off of what my eyes have shown me in the film displays, that your offensive line is better run blocking than in pass pro. Not saying they can't block and pass, bro. Just saying they're a little bit better. So you would think the numbers would skew more towards the run versus the pass, and that has not been the case. If most of your players are comfortable in a man-to-man situation, they seem to play more confident, more freely in man, then wouldn't you lean toward that a little bit more? Matthew Eberflus? I'm talking about actually scheming to player strengths. Because guess what? When you scheme to player strengths, that is how you get closest to their maximum value. You get the most out of your players when you play to their strengths. It's not rocket science. Point number 3, fully committing to the trenches. That goes for both the offensive side as well as the defensive side. Now, we did see some investment into your offensive and defensive lines this year. Shout out to Tyler Booker. He has definitely shown and proved his worth in 2026. I look and I am excited to see his year 2 jump. You did see some movement on your defensive line. The subtraction of Micah Parsons, the addition of Kenny Clark, the addition of Quentin Williams, the addition of Dante Fowler, the addition of Clowney. You saw a whole lot of moving pieces on your D-line. Jay Toia at times this year. There's a lot of question marks around that. That's to be determined. But you need to fully commit to the trenches. I know there has been some criticism on the offensive side as far as your tackles are concerned. I like the things that I saw. I like the growth that I saw from Tyler Guyton when he was not battling with the injuries. I think a full offseason removed from that injury, a chance to continue to rehab and develop his craft, I think you will be okay at left tackle. I don't think you need to draft another left tackle. I don't think you need to slide Tyler Smith to left tackle and draft another guard. I don't think you need to do any of that. I think you are good at left. I think you just need to continue to pour into your investment from a couple off seasons ago in Tyler Guyton. Tyler Smith is doing a masterful job. I want to see continued improvement from him. The interior is good in my books. Now you turn your attention to the right side with Terrence Steele. I know there are questions there. I know he has areas he does struggle in. I know he still has some areas where he looks like a mauler, and he is He-Man. I will say this. I don't think the Cowboys necessarily need to move on from Terrence Steele. If there presents an opportunity and there is a veteran available who maybe a little younger, has more upside, I wouldn't be opposed to it. That's definitely a topic worth research to look at potential free agent right tackles. But the part that I really want us to focus on is I want us to right now draft his understudy, draft his future replacement, and let him learn from Terrence Steele. Terrence Steele, in my opinion, has been a model citizen. He has been an excellent undrafted talent that we have discovered at that position. But I am thinking about the future. Don't know who your quarterback will be after Dak Prescott. Whoever it is, they're going to need some protection. That is a very key point to your offensive line. And instead of waiting until Terrence Steele has no more service to us, while he is still serviceable to us now, let's go ahead and draft his understudy. Now, while we're on the topic of understudies, that brings me to the next focus point. Point number 4, developing our young core. The Dallas Cowboys have some great young pieces. Great young pieces. Donovan Izaraku, he showed us some things this year. We appreciate it, sir. Brevin Spanford, he's showing us some promise. I'm looking for the improvement. We have good young talent, but we have to continue to develop this young talent. The young talent is the filler of your team, truth be told. It's how a lot of teams fill out their rosters, with the young, drafted, undrafted, signed, free agents. Those are the fillers. Those are the guys who end up making up your special teams. And we saw such special teams suffer this year because I think there was a drop-off in the development of our young talent. Point number 5. Big game composure. Too many times over the last couple of years, I have seen our Cowboys have their marquee matchup, the ones that you highlighted when the schedule was released back in May, that you were like, oh yeah, this is the one right here. This is the test. This is the litmus test. This is going to tell us, where we stand as far as, making that run. This is it right here. And a lot of times in those games, your team underperforms. They wet the bed. They have a moment, if you will. San Francisco a couple years ago, Green Bay a couple years ago. Those type matchups. You could say Detroit this year. Yeah, we were trending in the right direction. We had handled a couple of good teams the previous couple weeks, but when it mattered the most, lights bright, moment big, what did we do? Underperform. We've got to focus on our big game composure. Sometimes when they show the team, they look like they're a little too antsy, whatever, etc., whatever. I don't know what the team needs. I don't know if they need a team psychiatrist. I don't know what it is. They need a team massages before the game, whatever. Got to be better with our big game composure. And last but not least, number 6, situational football mastery. Yes, Brian Schottenheimer. Yes, Nick Sorensen. Yes, Matt Eberflus. Several times throughout this season, there were questionable calls made during the game, like, why are we going forward on 4th down at this point? Or why are we not going forward on 4th down at this point? Why, if it's 4th and 3, are we playing 9 yards off the ball? Stuff like that. Situational football. Like you talking about the simplistic parts of the game. It's just do what makes sense at that point. And a lot of times this season, you saw your coaches outthink the game. When in all actuality, they should have just kept it simple. Situational football mastery. If we can focus on these 6 things, y'all, establish a real identity, scheme to player strengths, fully commit to the trenches, develop our young core, establish big game composure, and develop situational football mastery, your 2026 Dallas Cowboys will be headed on the right path in the right direction in their quest for 6. That's how we can accomplish it. But it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of dedication. It's honestly going to take some real conversation. Player with coach, coach with player, coaches with your front office, your talent evaluators. Everybody is going to have to come together and talk. If our breath stink, our breath stink. That's how you get better. But nonetheless, good, better, best, never let it rest until your good becomes your better and your better becomes your best. Until next time, Cowboys Nation, y'all be blessed.